The YSL RICO trial is about to end sooner than you think, resulting in Young Thug release. As today, Prosecutor Love and her team did something very surprising, as it would be released a sanction in the YSL trial. The judge struck all testimony from a retired gang police officer who said on the stand that a defendant was in and out of jail. He also cannot testify again. You can tell from the DA nearly begging her to reconsider that this is not good for them.
I am finding that this was not intentionally elicited on the part of the state. However, I also am finding that this witness, as a law enforcement officer, should have known better than to make any mention of it. It is, however, significant that one of the charges against Mr. Kendrick in this indictment is that he is a convicted felon. Were it not for that, I would grant the mistrial motion. But given that the jury already knows that he's been convicted and is a convicted felon anyway, even without this testimony, I don't think that a mistrial is warranted. I am, however, going to give a curative instruction and as a sanction for this having occurred, that's the end of the testimony from this witness. There's going to be no more testimony from him. So
this is massive news for Young Thug. A tweet would even share, the judge says she would have granted the mistrial motion, but because of one of Yak's charges, having being a convicted felon already, the damage is already limited. However, she does rule a sanction. The state is now no longer allowed to question their own witness. This means that another witness can no longer provide evidence against Young Thug or YSL members. Young Thug's lawyers know the rapper's release is now expected, as it would then be reported. Breaking news, YSL prosecutor Fannie Willis has sent attorney Adam down to the YSL RICO trial to now fill in for DA Love's seat as the first chair. This is coming shortly after a report of the YSL RICO trial being investigated for case corruption, as DA Love's words against Young Thug were really weird. For context, Prosecutor Love was allegedly claiming that Young Thug was doing illegal activities to chase money, and that he would be the type of person to chase money in an illegal way, making it really sound like it's because of his skin color.
What suggests that he is doing anything illegal by chasing that money?
Your Honor.
Isn't that what pretty much all of us who aren't independently wealthy have to do every day of our lives?
Your Honor, I'm not saying that it is with certainty that this is what he is saying. What I'm saying is that it is evidence that tends to, or that has a tendency to make a portion of our assertions or our allegations in the indictment true to the extent that it is relevant that he made or said that, made that statement on that posting. He is representing YSL. He is.
I mean, obviously, you know, it's all over his body, but how is the post, the language representing YSL?
As even the judge was starting to think DA Love was meaning that he only chases money because of his skin color, where she would even say, what suggests that he's doing anything illegal by chasing money? Isn't that something that we all do? As DA Love throughout the argument was hinting towards the type of man Young Thug is, chases money in a legal way. Many looked at it because of Young Thug and who he hangs around with. One commenter even said, this is just crazy. If Young Thug was white, I bet no one in the law system would accuse him of chasing money by doing something illegal, as this is when Young Thug's lawyer pulled out something from the back of their pocket and would make DA Love look absolutely terrible. He would end up revealing a piece of evidence of a gang member on a wiretap complaining that Young Thug is the richest man in Atlanta, Georgia, but he refuses to put any money back into the street, confirming that Young Thug chases money in a legal way, and even though he makes a ton of legal money, he doesn't want to put it into an illegal situation.
We was just talking about we was just really, we was just really talking about Spider, like, how Charlotte got all these goddamn paper, but really letting these folks really just get the really up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way, bro. Like just being real, bro. Ain't no young his age. Charlotte the richest young in Atlanta, Georgia, bro. Ain't you having more money than Charlotte, bro? Yeah. Nah, he age, no. Like, come on, bro. Ain't having that much more money than Charlotte, bro. Charlotte supposed to be having shit. Charlotte supposed to be clean shit up, bro. Like, no, man, Charlotte supposed to be clean shit up, bro.
Like, you just look, just see how it is now. Like, and they got some corny him, bro. When we was around him, bro, like, you know, we still gonna do, you know what I'm saying? We still gonna do it anyway, but like,
Yeah.
you feel me? Like, man, damn.
Shit ain't right though.
As this is only strengthening Young Thug's lawyers' chances of getting their client released. As to understand the release date, you first need to understand why the YSL RICO trial is being investigated. It would begin when it was reported the judge went off on prosecutor Love, saying it is baffling to me that someone with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposely hide the ball for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is that purposeful, unless it is that you are so unorganized that you are throwing the case together as you try it. Then the judge had to even leave the bench to go take a deep breath.
I mean, I can't figure out what it is. If it's disingenuous, if it is that, I mean, I don't want to, the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not gonna say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful. But honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it.
As the judge has been extremely angry over the last few days. With the reports of the YSL trial being investigated by state officials, it can end up costing her her job. It would be reported, watch the judge open her mouth here. Is she signaling DA Love to make an objection? Because then she leads to Love keep on going until she gets the objection right. What exactly is going on in Fulton County, and is this what our systems come to?
Do you appreciate that sitting here today, your lies have caused Yak
Objection.
tremendous amounts of
Improper
problems?
question. Objection. Improper. Vague. Speculation. Relevance.
Sustain.
As what basically confirmed the case being corrupt is what happened next. A tweet would share, so it's okay for Adrian Love to show images to the jury underhandedly. Because as you can see, the judge is looking at prosecutor Love, who is holding a piece of paper of evidence to the jury, showing them clear as day the evidence that was later denied to ever be shown to the jury. But they even saw it illegally already, so what's the point? As Young Thug's lawyers finally had enough of this, they would end up going to the stand to cause an argument about Miss Love's behavior. This is when Miss Love would even get them more angry by objecting every word Thug's lawyer said.
Your Honor, objection.
Do you view that as a benefit?
Hang on.
Okay,
hang
I'm
on.
asking him if he views
I
that
know,
as
and
a
there's an
benefit.
objection on the floor, which I haven't been able to hear yet, so wait and let me hear
My
it and
apologies,
rule
Your
on it.
Honor.
So objection as to misrepresentation, vagueness, when the question is, do you think it's a benefit to you?
As this would end up going viral online, getting the attention of 4-2 Doug, who clearly sees that someone is going after Thug, as this case should be a mistrial.
Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened was
that just happened.
crazy. Like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
But the funniest of it all is the judge getting annoyed moments later. She knows she's helping prosecutor Love, but when Love would end up objecting again for the 16th time within a 5-minute span, the judge had enough. She told her to stop talking, she got up and walked away.
But, Ms. Love, your objection was sustained, so it's really all there is to it.
Your Honor, I think the main thing to it is that Mr. Sharp he talked.
Miss Love, I'm going to take a bathroom break, okay? I haven't had one for the last couple of times that everybody else has.
Lawyers online would comment that it's very obvious the motion for a mistrial will be getting granted sometime within the next week or two in this trial. The judge has been flip-flopping on the decision for the last couple of weeks. Her opinions on the stage of the case changed dramatically from the beginning of the court day until the end, even just today as an example. As at the beginning of the day, it was announced, judge denies the motion for mistrial, saying she doesn't think that there was anything bad, but does agree the questioning from DA Love could be confusing and would ask Ms. Love to clarify
what the line of questioning was, and so a valid objection, it remains sustained, but the motion for mistrial is denied. I am not giving any kind of instruction. You can just fix it by asking the next one.
As the judge denied the mistrial at the beginning of the day, but it's what she said at the end of the day that makes many lawyers believe it's done. As the prosecutors on this specific day, it was a witness questioning day, meaning the prosecutors had to bring witnesses to the stand for the entire day to confirm evidence against Young Thug and YSL members. The prosecutors would bring up Quindarius Zachary to the stand. He would open his statement by hitting on an investigator and would even ask her to be the one to supervise him at his hotel tonight.
For you to whichever hotel this is, they end up putting. Can it be what? I don't know whether it's going to be that particular investigator or not. It might be, it might not be. It's not going to be up to me.
The judge believes that it's funny at the beginning, but what happened next? You can tell that she was getting annoyed. Where it would be reported, Quindarius Zachary says that he no longer wants his lawyer because he feels like he's working for them, the state. He said he doesn't think he needs a lawyer at all, and he'll be back on Monday without one.
You don't want that lawyer anymore. All right, well, let me say this. When you come back, on Monday, it may be that you want a lawyer. You don't feel like you need any kind of lawyer whatsoever. So what if things change on Monday? All right.
As it would be this moment, 20 minutes into Quindarius Zachary's stand, that she would have enough of Quindarius, kicking him off of the stand, telling him to get lost. The judge would then tell the prosecutors, okay, bring up the next witness, where DA Love would then tell the judge she has no more for the entire day. The judge would begin yelling at the prosecutor, as this is a waste of taxpayer dollars and everybody's time. A court session is 6 to 8 hours long. This lasted 20 minutes and the jury was sent home. The judge would then yell at the prosecutor.
One of the things I wanted to inquire of one of our investigators about their efforts to secure one of the witnesses and the difficulty that we have had with respect to that witness. I expect that witness will be coming in. It's the one that we've been discussing, but I think it's pertinent information.
Not right now, and frankly, it doesn't matter if you have a particular witness. What you have been instructed is to have enough witnesses to fill the day. Okay, so if one witness is difficult, then you need to have another one lined up. Let's get the jury, please.
This was the perfect moment for Young Thug's lawyers to then submit another motion for a mistrial, and the judge would respond using many different words than what she used at the beginning of the day.
All right, I'm going to look back at what the transcript says. I mean, and Ms. Love, you may, given that there's now a motion for mistrial on the floor, in assertion that you did things purposefully, you may respond to that.
I vehemently object to the mistrial. I vehemently object to any mistrial, and I beg the court to look at the transcript and see what I said right before I asked him the people that I just mentioned. And I would ask that the court deems it appropriate that such language is gross and all of the disparaging remarks made by counsel for the defendants are appropriate. That's one thing, but I'd ask that the court limit that type of behavior, which is, not becoming of officers of the court.
I agree with that. It is not becoming.